Now, US inflation is still cooling, but not as quickly as expected. The Consumer Price Index, a key inflation indicator that measures the cost of goods and services, slowed in September to an annual 2.4%, as per the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported. While that metric shows a decline from August, good news for the economy, it missed market expectations by 0.1%. Inflation in the United States dropped last month to its lowest point since it first began surging more than 3 years ago, adding to a spate of encouraging economic news in the closing weeks of the presidential race there. To understand what this means better, we have with us Badri Narayanan Gopalakrishnan, fellow from the Niti Aayog and also affiliate faculty member at Boston College. Thank you so much, sir, for making time for us. Taken as a whole, the September figures show that inflation is steadily easing back to the Fed's 2% target. But, sir, the greater concern, is it to avoid stoking unemployment while reaching that target?
Well, thank you again for having me here. Yes, the inflation has been falling, in fact, quite rapidly. If you look at the last 2 years, from 2021, like you said, from 6% to in the range of 6% to 2.4% now. But on the other hand, you also see the latest jobs report last week. It also showed increase in jobs by 250,000 people, like 250,000 people. So, it's all good news. We have inflation, coming down and employment increasing. But again, like you rightly said, it is not as rapidly falling as market was expecting. And even the Fed's target is 2%, and we are still at 2.4%. So we may expect the Fed to continue reducing the interest rates in the coming months, as far as I can imagine, because we still, we should also think of the levels, basically. We are talking about inflation. Inflation is just relative to last year's prices. But in the last 2 years, the prices have increased so much that you can think of this as also correction, which means the inflation should fall much more. The CPI should decrease more, actually decrease or maybe increase much more. 2% would be more comfortable, or even less than 2% because of the levels of prices that have been very high recently.
So, cooling inflation, then solid hiring and healthy growth, could it erode Donald Trump's advantage on the economy in the presidential campaign as measured by public opinion polls? What's your take?
Yeah, like I said, there are a lot to be, deciphered by looking into the numbers, right? Cooling inflation is a good thing, but then the price levels are still high, so the people are still worried about that. From a political perspective, that is an important thing, and that's what the presidential campaign on both sides is talking about. Like on one side, like the Democrats are saying that we have eased down. The Republicans are saying that the price levels are high, right? So that is one aspect. And an employment increase is definitely a good news. It cannot be denied by anyone. So yes, I agree with you. But also I think economy is just one aspect that goes into the presidential debates, as you know. There are many other aspects. So I can say that employment is good news for the Democrats, but inflation is not. They still cannot declare victory yet. But it's really it's going towards that.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us with your comments on NDTV 24/7. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates in the run-up to November's showdown in the United States.